Welcome back, everyone. We got a sweet game coming up. NerdTown versus Erased. Again, this is the Level Clash Regional Qualifier. We're not going to be casting that later this weekend, but Docta and Ryan Central, of course, going to be on the mics. I saw Ryan in chat earlier, so he's going to be diligently taking notes, learning everything he can about these teams. Mitch, how familiar are you with either of these squads? Do you know them? Do you know them at all?
I've never seen either of these teams play, so it's going to be a
Perfect.
brand new experience for me.
Let's go. You know what? That's sometimes like my favorite types of games to end up casting, though, because like you come in and you have a G2 versus the Heretics, like you got to do all this narrative garbage, right? Where you're like, man, what a story for these guys. And sometimes that can be cool in the more hype matchups, but we're here for the gameplay today. We're here to see exactly how these guys play, discover some hidden gems, some future stars, and potentially some winners of some sweet Logitech gear. How smooth is that? 10 out of 10?
That was nice. It was a nice plug. I'll give you that.
Logitech gonna be happy? Okay, I tried my best. I hope I get a little pay bump after that one. All right, let's see it. We're already into Agent Select. You'll love to see it. NerdTown gonna be starting on defense, Erased on attack. Beautiful.
What's good about this as well is that the veto system up until now has been pretty trashed for best of ones, whereas now we've got 5 maps. Ban, whatever's left over. Yeah. So you end up on a legitimate mid-ground and not necessarily so where each team bans a map and then it's randomly assigned out of the remaining 2. I really don't like that system. I think now we're in a good spot. The only downside is that we almost definitely won't see Icebox.
That is true. That is true. Although, maybe teams are finally gonna get some sense put in them and learn that is just the sweetest map of all time here. Now, looks like triple duelist over for NerdTown. I'm always a fan of that one, but no Cypher in the comp on Bind. I personally feel like Cypher's still pretty much a mainstay over on Bind, especially for locking down that B site. We saw quite a few teams, of course, in First Strike make very good work out of that. What's your take on the Cypher or lack thereof on this map?
I'm 100% with you. I think Cypher should be used by every team, or at least a Sentinel in some way. Obviously, we'll see Lal take a Sage regardless of the map, but you can see a Killjoy potentially on B. There's some nice things you can do, like the almost impossible to hit turret. I mean, it's like, I remember seeing a meme which was, it's the hardest shot to hit in the game. It's like a guy's head just barely showing, or the turret. And for some reason, the turret feels impossible to spray down consistently. But when you look at this map and how it plays out, especially because NerdTown are starting on defense, it's a real surprise that they don't take a Sentinel. This comp, I would see as an attack-sided comp if you want to come in with massive confidence and say, you know what, we're going to 12-0 you, so we don't even care about defense. But now you've got to start on what is technically your worst side, according to the composition.
Yeah, we'll see how they do end up holding it. It's a comp that you could get a little aggressive with. You can see High Kitty already pushing up down showers, is able to take out Zins before he himself hits the pavement. That ace with a little shock dart too. So with all these duelists still making some good work here on defense. The Drinking Bowl will be able to heal off of that. I actually think he broke the line right there, so he wasn't able to get all his HP back. That's going to make things a little bit more difficult in the 2v2. Oh, the flames!
That's going to make it even more difficult. Just completely shut down by the molly. Go use the hot hands. You don't usually see that being used by a Phoenix in any sort of way that's useful, to be honest. Mainly because the range is so limited. If you're a Brimstone, you can get lineups from across the map, but you can also just get really, really precise throws. With Phoenix, if you try to throw it anywhere past what would regularly be somebody's range with their arm, it just falls straight to the ground. I don't actually know the meters range on it, but then again, most people don't know the meters distance.
Yeah, I'm from America, so I don't really know meters in real life either. It's kind of a complete disaster for me.
How many tablespoons is it from here to there?
Dude, I don't know what tablespoons are. I don't think Americans like measure anything. I think they just accept that it sort of exists. You know, it's like how many handfuls is it going to be? How many mouthfuls? Something like that. And see NerdTown push pretty aggressively up A short. That jet that's flanking actually was on A side originally, so doing the whole around the world strategy. And Kevin's inside the smoke. Almost found a good timing on that one, but Fish is going to knock him down first.
Well, now we're left in this position where a couple of kills actually swing back to NerdTown. What is that from Grovex? Tapping away at the heads. And so I think this one's done and dusted, really. Yi, well, he's not going to get up to all too much. He was low HP, stuck inside a bathroom, and there were 2 players ready to defend that diffuser. With that, 28.82 seconds remaining on the spike, so at least that guy from Reddit's going to be happy that he got to see how long it took for once.
Yeah, but if they'd had that timer in game, obviously they would have won. You know, like,
there you go. No, that's exactly.
You know, already I'm noticing how much I miss the overlay. Like I'm just so sad. I'm like I can't see the loadouts anymore. You know, trying to figure out what's going on. You can see them through the walls, I guess, technically on your screen. But it's a whole jumble of information. We can only, you know, cross our fingers and hope that Riot blesses us with the technology at some point soon to get that up and running.
Yeah, hopefully. It was such a joy to see that one in the game. To even just see what weapons your opponents were working with. But now you know that Erased have got weapons in their hands. The big boys, the big guns, the Vandals, the Phantoms starting to appear. As Erased do manage to trade this out in 1-for-1 fashion straight away. They've taken damage on their Sova, and he's spotted again in towards middle. Actually gets full spotted. There's a shock dart coming his way. But he does manage to evade it as Erased start to shift their approach. So they were spotted making a passive stance away from the A site. It looked like it was going to be a B hit. They continue to fall back as the drone comes into view, and then push back on the map control that NerdTown has in fact given up. This is a free site take, and really it's only Kevin who's currently blocked off completely. They're going to have to deal with him though. And it looks like he's just going to fall back and wait for those smokes to dissipate. Now stuck in a fight. The nade goes down, separates his opponents, and he uses the blast packs to get out of there, but he's going back in. Madman, after the blind came through, Kevin's able to pick up 3, and it looks like he might even get the 4th. What a round by NerdTown.
Kevin just putting on a show right there. You love to see it out of him. Yeah, just like you mentioned, that position inside of lamps left uncleared for so long. He just came swinging through, took every single 1v1, 1 by 1. 1v1, 1 by 1. I think that's there's something there with that one. But yeah, really nicely done out of him and the defense from NerdTown to show up. And it felt like they're like Erased was under so much pressure because they also were worried about a potential flank coming in because they'd never actually fully cleared showers. They knew that one of their players had died outside there, but all 4 players came from in front of them, and really it was just the one in Kevin that was necessary to get the job done.
Straight away, you're seeing Kevin's a really smart player, right? He's the one that we can read into the most. He fell back. First of all, they called for the fallback on A. He held a pixel angle. He got smoked off and caged. He didn't spam. He didn't poke through it. He just fell back into lamps. Held an angle that, again, he was confident if they swung into, he could win the duel. Then used his blast packs when he was under threat by the jet pushing in to get out of the... First of all, the nade went down to stop anybody from like overwhelming him. Blast packs to get out of there, calls for his teammate to put the paranoia through, and then reacts. That is really good decision making, second to second. Every single thing that came through, he reacted to perfectly. Good fallback by High Kitty. Oh no! Well, Fish Freund was gone the second that showstopper was popped. Are they going to go through this? That would be very risky, swinging through a cage, and they haven't heard it. They've got their sound turned off.
I've got my sound turned off too. I can't hear anything, Mitch, but you know what? Miles can. He shows up for a couple of kills there too. Right when you asked, you know, are they going to go through it? I just looked at him like, yeah, that's, do you recognize the Rays player? I feel like we've seen him in some previous rounds. I feel like he's done some pretty nasty things. And yes, sir, it is Kevin to go flying through there. 4th round showstopper and a 4th round won by NerdTown here. And again, for these qualifiers, winner is going to be able to move on to the playoffs. Loser, they are done. So no chance at winning the big money, at winning the Logitech prize. NerdTown already in a great spot in this best of 1.
That's disappointing for a race. You know, their Sova definitely heard that cage be popped. You knew there was a player pushing through, and he swung with his back turned. Obviously, it's very easy to sit there and go, what, how could you not notice the cage, right? The reality is there's a lot happening. He was planning the spike, then worried about a push, but that's where experience comes through. Wow. And my Kitty got so much confidence to continue swinging. Obviously up against pistols, but oh no. They've caught him with the timing. The spike is down, and this old fish point is their only real chance, and every shot is missed.
So, Mitch, I'm not sure, like, are we reversed or something? Because to me, it looks like NerdTown is the side that's on attack. They have been constantly pushing aggressively from pistols, right? Like, and playing up A short. And it's funny because in Agent Select, you said triple duelists here, like no Siphon. This looks like an attack comp for NerdTown, even though they were starting on defense, but we're seeing some of the reason why. They're just very confident in their individual players to push forward, gain an advantage, then dash back out to safety. It is going flawlessly for them so far.
It's one of those things where when you pick this kind of comp, you were literally just saying, I'm better than you. Like, that is, oh, well, the double bounce, maybe not ideal, but hold on. They're putting all their players towards this side of the map, and there is nothing that a race can do. This might be a flawless round. So close, only losing the one. Hi Kitty again dominating, and it is no secret at the moment that NerdTown are the better team. You're seeing that hands down.
And there's respect in all chat too, right? You know, Erase is saying nice play, and it absolutely was, going for the start around TP with the push out of showers as well. Just really excellent stuff. Good gunplay. It wasn't like it was a save or anything from Erase. Like, they were fully kitted up. They all had Vandals. They were ready to throw down, but Hi Kitty just showed up a little bit more prepared on that.
The only thing more frustrating than the Phoenix or the Breach pushing through is a Sky. You can stand on long B, put your Sky flash through. I still can't remember the name of it because it's just convoluted, but I just call it the Sky flash. It's the bird. Everybody knows.
No? Yep, Hawk's out.
Well, exactly, right? Like what is it actually? Hold on. Sky abilities. I'll tell you the name of it now. It's a guiding light. Yeah, no, I'm not saying that. So when she throws out her flash, it opens the TP, and she can push through right afterwards with the TP wide open, and it will catch you off guard. You'll look, be like, oh, it's a flash, don't worry about it, and then boom, someone's shooting you in the side of the head. The second you hear the sound effect, it's really frustrating.
Yeah, absolutely here. All right, finally we see Erased actually make it to a site. First time since, I think, Pistols, they've been able to do that, but Kevin was lurking on the back of the site. Isn't able to come up with much of anything. So finally, Erased are in a position with the numbers advantage. It's that ace with an op. That's not going to be too easy to retake the site with. They're going to need Hi Kitty to get a lot of work done here. Hi Kitty is able to get one, and that ace with a classic finds another. They tap the spike. You're just waiting for the peak right now. Around the corner, the op shot does not connect, but the spam comes through, not on the right target. That ace is the one shooting you, and that is a triple. 2 with the classic there to secure a 7th round for NerdTown and keep the dream alive.
Well, this is not looking good. Is it? We mentioned obviously this comp is attack sided.
Sorry. Have you ever noticed the crane?
Oh, the crane in between.
I've never noticed that. Yeah, I've never noticed that before. Sorry, continue your point. It seemed interesting. Yeah, what is in there? Can we
a random area?
Oh,
it's still under construction, I guess. Wouldn't it be? Oh my god! Wouldn't it be unreal?
So Jet can actually double boost up from like outside of hookah and like see through those windows, kind of into spawn. But it's like such a small window that like it's not realistic that it's ever effective. But I do a lot of Jet boost testing.
I do wonder, like, at some point, wouldn't it be so cool if they opened up a route to the B site through there and it was all like CQB fights? It'd be terrible for competitive, but it would be fun for like deathmatch or something. Throw it in.
Oh yeah. No, but I mean, honestly, like that's what a standard map layout would look like, right? Like, because there's no mid on this map, like it would be something that sort of like cuts through like that. So I mean, like, if this was Counter-Strike, maybe that probably just is the pathway on this map, you know?
It's like they were building a CS map, then they went, we ran out of time. Put TPs. that's how it went down. Obviously, map built around the teleports, and oh my god. Obviously, you've only got pistols, right? That is the bottom line for Erased. But also, they're giving 8 rounds over to their opponents. This is not going to go well. They haven't even lost a player. A flawless round. Thankfully, I don't have to say any sponsor names alongside that. Did you catch that, Andrew, on the broadcast? Every time.
It was so funny because, like, you could tell, like, every caster was just cringing internally when they were saying it, and felt the absolute pain. I felt it too, but you know, it's all right.
My point though was, what if you have a team just dominate and it's like 10 flawless rounds in a row? You know, I'm not going to say the sponsor because of obligations on this stream. I don't want Level getting in trouble, but like, imagine I'm like, that's a XYZ flawless round. That's an XYZ flawless. Oh, another XYZ. Like 10 times in, the sponsors are going to be ringing, going, "Stop it, please! Just stop saying it. Just don't do it."
Yeah. I mean, because it was kind of happening, you know, to not like that bad. But so my theory is, so the people that made these deals on the right side are League of Legends people, right? So like our like equivalent of an 8s happens, you know, a couple times a game, like 2 times a game, maybe. And my theory is that they just did not expect the frequency of what happened. They're like, oh my god, this actually happened a lot more than we thought it would. The sponsor's like, yes, we love it. As this round not looking too bad for Erased. Not too bad. They've got a couple players on really low HP, but it is a 3v3 and they're going to get the spike down.
Yeah, it's a shame that it's actually Arena that's full health. I guess in a way it's good because he can take fights. They've gotten the spike down as well. Hi Kitty's trying to falling shot, dashing up. That's just styling on him. And it's all down to this. A 1v1 in the end. Is there any utility left on Raze? I don't know, but I presume not. Oh, hold on. Did he just take a nade out and try to throw it? He would have done it.
Yeah, I think the utility was the problem. He was caught with his pants down a little bit right there. Didn't have his gun ready to go. The same thing happened to Hi Kitty too, right? Because that was a really lazy smoke that he threw out. He was smoking while he was still out in the open instead of trying to bend it around there. So the drinking bowl turns the corner, and again, that Jet doesn't have a gun out, so got a couple of free kills right there. Nice, some lazy play from NerdTown. Things get a little bit loosey-goosey, but still up 8-1 here.
Yeah, this lead is going to be hard to shake out of the hands of NerdTown. I think, considering they're 8-1 up, there is a lot of space for them to make these loose plays and aggressive pushes that we've just seen come through from Hi Kitty, but backfire. The man advantage now for Erased. If they can get up to 4, they're in with a chance. It's not over and done with. I do fear for them, though, when NerdTown can concentrate all 5 of their players towards the one side of the map and start to isolate some of these duels. This is it here for Kevin. I'm feeling it. I feel the 5K already onto 1. The spray. Well, that's not happening.
That's a 5 minus 4K right there. A little bit less than we were maybe initially expecting. And now Erased have a chance to try and string a couple of rounds here together. Rovex is going to be on the flank. There's a pesky Cypher hiding out in the pocket. Does he get an angle on anyone? It doesn't appear. So actually, Krovex was able to remove 1, gets the second 2. Now there's just a couple players bundled up right inside of Shower. There's a smoke they have to play with. It's pretty easy to ping out the spike and spam through from here. Krovex pushes and is dropped. Spike down to half, and Fish is able to get Miles as well. That doubles the rounds won by Erased. Golf claps in the chat. They have a chance to take 4 on attack.
Well, the opportunity is there, but can they capitalize on it? That's the question. Needs to be answered. Needs to be proven that they've got that ability, because they've won a couple of these rounds off some whiffed shots. And for NerdTown, they lost Hi Kitty and Kevin with just 1 kill between them at the start of that previous round. Now, if they start to tend towards more passive playstyle, I don't know that will happen, but I know straight away that the passive playstyle ain't gonna come through. They're going right on through the teleporter, coming up behind them. This is dangerous! And the lineup was there, but no kill. NT Miles, good for the start. They can swing on them. There's a paranoia. There's a paranoia. He's not popping the paranoia. He's not popping the paranoia.
What is Hi Kitty doing? He gets 3 kills. He's absolutely out of his mind. And the round was looking good for Race for a second, but not much longer than that. Miles comes in to do the finishing touches, and Hi Kitty absolutely destroyed Erased.
I mean, that's a basic thing. You have a paranoia, you know where two opponents are. Granted, one in the end, but it's a jet with their ult up. You pop the paranoia, you blind her, you swing together, but instead they go one by one first of all, and then don't even use the utility that they've got. That's a round loss that's deserved for sure. And NerdTown back on it again. 9 on the board as Kevin gets very aggressive with a judge.
Got a judge. He had 38K in the or 3,800 in the bank, and he's willing to hold on to that. Fish is able to equalize 4 versus 4. Now Kevin just charging forward like an absolute freak. He gets the kill, jumping around the corner, trades up for a phantom, and if that's not a tilter, I don't know what is.
But he's got his ult online now as well. The showstopper could come in with some huge impact. He's looking towards long. He's thinking about it. Nades come through. Oh no, he already used it. The sound was a little low, so I didn't hear that. And Erased are going to be TPing. Oh, Kevin's got one through the TP. He's chucked a nade after them. He's ran in as well, giving up his life. But in the end, it comes down to a 3v2. Still the man advantage for NerdTown.
That ace hiding inside the smoke, but I think Gangster expects something. He's trying to clear it a little bit. Here's the reload, and now he's going to push the operator as well. Excellent play from that ace right there. And NerdTown take 10 on defense with a comp that is not built to defend, but built to attack. And now they get to live in their element and see how quickly they can close this one out.
Yeah, they're looking like a bull in a china shop right now. There's not a whole lot of plan behind it, and he hasn't really thought about how he's going to demolish the building, but you can be damn sure he's going to demolish it. For NerdTown, 3 rounds, all that they need with a comp that, as you said, very favored towards the attacking side. They're fragging out like crazy, and it's always a bad sign, Ender, when you look at the bottom fragger on one team, and he's got more kills than the top fragger on the other.
Yeah, that usually indicates a bit of an imbalance in the scoreboard at the top of your screen as well, and that is definitely there. All right, NerdTown 5-stack towards A. They are not taking things slow. They're not trying to find any information. They are trying to completely conquer this A site. Grenades, utility go out. They get a couple of pings on the backside, and High Kitty is already flanking with that frenzy. The light armor too, so we can actually push into spawn. See all 3 players here. Inside pipes, he dashes forward. That's crazy, but he still gets a kill. Tried to spray transfer, was a little bit early on that one. It doesn't matter. He did enough damage for Kevin to come in and clean up house.
Yeah, just pure confidence right now is what you're seeing. When you see a frenzy on a jet and armor, you know it's going to be a fast play. And when it's Hello Kitty that's been doing all the damage, that's all the more scary. 11-2. And really, I don't see this one going on much longer. I hope the other teams are getting on the server ready to go. They didn't go out for a tea break or even a pee break, because we're ready for them in a few minutes.
Yeah, that was a little bit quick. All right. One more time, set up outside of A. And again, it is the exact same strategy. So hopefully Erased go for that TP quickly. Maybe just commit towards a flank this time too. Gangster hiding inside the smoke. They say, no, we're gonna hand the side on over here. Gangster, does look like they went for the buy here, which they absolutely need to. 11 rounds on the enemy side, but Kevin again inside spawn. High Kitty also here. It's his turn to turn around the corner here, but Yi actually gets him through the wall. Doesn't matter, because it's just one more round on top. NerdTown rather, on match point.
1 left to go. I mean, this is insanely dominant. I know in qualifiers it's kind of what you expect, but NerdTown, they knew it. They knew it was going to happen. They didn't pick a Sentinel. They picked the triple duelists, and I mean, Liquid are going to be looking at this, rubbing their hands, going, see, I told you it can work, man. I told you. But the problem is you just need 4 more screams, and then you're good to go. But it seems like NerdTown, at least regionally, have got their 5 screams locked and loaded, ready to roll. As the final, potentially final, probably final round kicks off. Remember, Race don't have a lot to work with, and Kevin's pulled out the judge play again.
I love it. Pushing forward one more time. He put the judge away. Now he's got the sheriff, right? So he's going to arrest him and then pass judgment on them. It's High Kitty from above to take him down. And Krovex with a knife to the back to finish off a flawless round and a near flawless map there for NerdTown. 13-2 after that. And you know what? They showed us one strategy on attack, and it was the same strategy on defense. Push forward and kill everything in your sight.
Yep. No, I mean, there were a couple of, I guess, bigger brain strats sprinkled in, but even then, it just came down to I'll push TP, you push Bath, I'll push here. They coordinated their pushes, but they did just push. And I guess, as we said, that's what, when you pick that composition and when you pick that play style, you're just saying we are better as individuals than you are. We're a better team. And I think we saw that there with some of the decision making that was in play over on the opposition.
Absolutely. It seems like NerdTown might be a good team to watch heading into this weekend. 379 on the average combo score. Because, like, at the start, it looks like Kevin was going to be the real hero of this team. You know, he had that quad kill in the 4th round, I want to say, pulling out the showstopper and all of that. But High Kitty also got a couple of his own. 4 first bloods. Miles got 7. He was sort of the invisible there because it felt like it was High Kitty and Kevin in those, you know, multi-frag situations, but Miles constantly pushing as well. Just goes to show that, you know what? This team is here to party.
That they are. They've gotten off to a good start in the party. They've got their cake and they can eat it too, and there's a couple more coming. Especially if they play like that in the main event, then they'll get a beautiful, it won't be a cake, but it will be the equivalent of a birthday present from Logitech with some beautiful goodies right there close to winning.
I love it. I love it. You know, this was just a little pre-game for the party that's going to be coming later this weekend. We have another match coming up right after this break. It is, of course, going to be Wave versus Kakaopulver, and this match is against two teams, both 2-0 in their group, so doing very well for themselves. Winner will advance to this weekend for sure. We're going to step away for just a few. Don't go anywhere.
Never miss.
So who's next?
Well, hello. Hello? Oh, it's okay. Andrew's in the toilet. He's taking a pee break. But I'm with you. As we just came out of an insanely quick game. I mean, it was... Hi, Andrew. Welcome back, buddy.
Why are we live already?
Return.
What happened?
It was a quicker break than we thought, buddy. It was a quicker break than we thought.
Do you guys want to show off? I just got this cape. Look at this cape. How sweet is this? Look at that. I look like a sister.
Oh, wow.
Boom. Yeah. It's a fashion show now.
Just pull out a lightsaber. I know you have one around the house. You must. With a cape like that.
How's my Palpatine looking?
Like, oh, that's fantastic. You need a couple more wrinkles.
Yeah, I'm not old enough
yet.
Just
all right. That was only 66 on the server, man. Oof.
Yikes. Yeah, I thought the Jedi could put up a little bit better of a fight than that, but didn't go well for them in the end. All right here. Do we have any news on how quick we are getting into the next game, as I am just stepping back from a quick break? I've been told we need to stall for a bit. And you know what, Mitch? I think we're pro stallers. we don't advocate for stalling, but we are good at it. You know, we're professional stallers, is what I'm trying to say. Why do you have a chessboard on your wall behind you?
Good question. The wall is pink, a very, very bad shade of pink, and I had a question when I moved into this place, which was, do I want to try painting it? No. Do I have time to hire someone to paint it? No. So I bought those, stuck them up on the wall. It was way easier, and yeah, that's pretty much why I thought it looked better than just black, because then it blends with the couch, and it's a dark room. So.
Yeah, do you think that maybe you could get some like large chess pieces and put Velcro on the bottom of them, and you could play like vertical chess? You know, I mean, it might destroy your soundproofing when you try to pull them off, but I don't know. It could be a cool idea. You know, a little brain exercise. I've never seen a chessboard like that. It might confuse people. Who knows? I've been on the chess grind ever since I watched Queen's Gambit. So.
There we go. Okay, that's where this is coming from. I think it would really hurt people's necks. You try to play like, I would not be comfortable. That would be very very uncomfortable to play with.
Or one day you're just lying down on the sofa and they start falling on your head. It could also be not unpleasant, you know.
Start getting attacked. Oh,
I just got them up. I'll break the news. You know how we did Reddit reactions earlier, chat? I just got the word we have 2 bonus Reddit posts, and I hope they're absolutely terrible, because I think my guilty pleasure is just when I get the chance to completely destroy someone, like flame them, you know? And there's no better place to do it than the internet. So Reddit reaction number 1, let's chuck it up there.
All right, hey, I'm an FPS player, and I'd like to know if Valorant is the game for me. Hey guys, I've been looking at Valorant lately, and I'm not sure if I want to play it. What are the pros and cons of the game to know if I can work with them, or if they're a deal breaker for me? Thanks to anybody that helps. Well, Newzilla, the pros of Valorant. Gets insane attention from the devs. First of all, it's a really, really smooth, fun to play shooter. I feel like it runs better than Counter-Strike, which would be its main competitor, unless you're talking Call of Duty, in which case, please show yourself off the stream. The cons for me, honestly, if I had to say the cons, it would be limited map pool, and it's harder to get into. And what I mean by that is, if you play some reality-based FPS games like Counter-Strike, someone throws a flashbang, you know what a flashbang is. Someone throws a smoke grenade, take 1 or 2 and you'll figure out exactly what it does. Whereas in Valorant, there's hawks coming at you, there's flashes coming through walls that make a quick sound, there's ones that curve around, there's ones that are eyes floating in the air, you'll think you're in Lord of the Rings, and they all do different things, they all have different counters, so it's very hard to get into on a base level. I feel like if you've never played an FPS before, the entry level, because of the things you have to learn, is a little bit high.
Definitely, but I almost think that's a pro in a way. Like, you can spin it as a pro, because I think that the mastery curve in this game, there's so much more like depth to it. Right? So the barrier to entry is certainly higher, and it will be more difficult to get into, but I think it's so much more rewarding to master setting up all those Sova darts, you know, or, you know, going in and practicing curving jet smoke, you know, all these abilities play very differently, that you have character mastery that you can build up, and you can have a main character or not. You know, you could, 2 years after playing the game, you've played Sky 4 times, you go play Sky for the first time, you're like, wait, that's actually pretty cool. Now I have more things that I can learn, and there's always things get better, and that's a little bit cooler than learning how to throw a flash in the right direction, you know, and, you know, smoke off this area. So I think that for a lot of people, one of the primary reasons why they will stick to this game, as opposed to sticking to something like a Counter-Strike, is going to be character and utility mastery. That's what I'm a fan of.
Yeah, I'm 100% behind that. I mean, look, I hate Counter-Strike now. I'm bored of it at this point. A new operation came out, haven't touched it, purely because I hate the devs. Or rather, they hate us. I don't know which way that goes.
Yeah, I think it goes both ways.
It's like,
yeah,
it's like
do you like CSGO? Yeah, the ads... If I was in charge of the Valorant advertising department, I would do like a PSA. It would be like, do you love CSGO? But hate everything the devs do? come to Valorant. We do everything you want us to do.
I think it's essentially like I've got 5K hours in CS, so I like it. But the problem is it's stale. After a certain amount of time, the devs don't care. They don't update the game. You're just sat there. It has a lot of replayability, but Valorant is going to have so much more because you're going to have an actively changing map pool. You're going to have a consistent, an actively changing agent composition. What? Sorry, my dog was outside the door making the weirdest sound. And then so the fact is you're always going to have this, like, if you leave Valorant and come back in 3-4 months, there's going to be a new agent, possibly 2. There might be a new map in there as well because there's 2 every year. So you're in this position then where it's a completely different game. There's so much more to learn. And as you said, you're not going to have played every single agent. You won't be a master of them all. So if you get bored of playing Breach, go and play Phoenix. Don't do that. Don't play Phoenix. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Someone's going to do it now, and I'm going to hate myself
Phoenix
for it.
Cool.
You can play a Sage. Do that. No, that's your North American coming out, okay? It's not okay.
I'm sorry.
Phoenix out of here.
Forgive me, please. Oh, man. Honestly, so speaking, you mentioned the new operation for CSGO, and they implemented pinging. How long until they implement buying weapons for people in the menu? Riot's plan with Valorant was, let's look at CSGO. They don't put attention into their game. Let's improve every aspect that we possibly can, like, not in terms of gameplay, but every other thing. So, like, you can't, like, there's no team kills, right? Like, even your abilities do less damage to your teammates. You can buy weapons way easier. You can request weapons. You can sell weapons when you accidentally bot and your team's trying to eco. You can ping where you're talking about instead of using voice chat. They put in all of these things to basically, like, lure as many players in and say, like, all those things you hate, we made so much better. So for me, seeing pings come through in CS, it's like it is only a matter of time before they actually start stealing from Valorant, which is really funny, I think.
All of a sudden, flashes can be curved in midair. It's going to be interesting. No, but I think one of the things for Counter-Strike is that, like, as a game, it's so good, and I think it proves not just how good the game is, but also how good the community and the teams and the players are, that it survives with next to no support. It's like a kid that's been thrown out into the wilderness, but the wolves don't even raise this kid. He raises himself. That's what Counter-Strike is. It's pure and it's good. Valorant to me is like the same thing. I love the game. I think it's really fun. It's really exciting. I've played enough of it now that it starts to, if I played that much of Counter-Strike consistently, it would hit the stale mark immediately, and Valorant doesn't, because there is always a new team comp you're going to be up against. The new map comes out, you got to learn how to play that, then a new agent, and you adjust to it. The difference to me is that instead of, it's like when you go to a friend's house and you're just kind of like thrown in the room, and their parents are like, oh, just stay away, stay in we're giving you this little area, you stay up there. Then you go to another friend's house and you can be in that area, but their parents are like, hey, do you want a sandwich? You want a pizza? I've got pizza. Should we get takeout? And like, it's the same, maybe the same friend, same quality of friend. He has the same video games. He has the same size house, but it's just nicer because his parents care. And that's the Riot for you. They come in and they give you a nice hug when you come in the door.
Yeah, like technically you could go walk downstairs to the kitchen and make yourself a sandwich, make yourself a new map, if you're at that other friend's house, if you wanted to, if you really cared that much. But it's so much nicer when the parents just come upstairs and give you all these wonderful things. Because humor me for a second, because I was actually going to make a very similar parallel. Because obviously, like, there have been discussions about, like, oh, you really want to be able to, like, create maps and all this stuff. But to me, map creation isn't a necessity. It is a necessity with a game like Counter-Strike. And the game I was going to compare it to is actually Skyrim. Now, Skyrim as a game would not be played if there wasn't a modding community, right? Like, over the last 10 years, they released graphics overhauls, gameplay overhauls. Like, you can install 400 different mods, and it's a completely brand new gaming experience. Now, Bethesda didn't do anything. They shipped the game. Maybe there were, like, release some bug fixes, but the most downloaded mod in Skyrim history is like a complete, like, bug fix overhaul. Like, this game has been kept alive by its modders, by its community. And I think that like to a large extent, like CS:GO has thrived because of that modding community, and at what they've been able to give to the game, and like that's helped it get to the point where it is so large. And while you look at a game like Valorant, you say like, oh, it'd be really cool to have that thing. You are in good hands, and that Riot is going to continually put out updates and keep bringing things together. So it's not like you absolutely must have critical features like this, and that's where it's really cool to know that there's nothing that can ever really happen. It feels like, and this game's been out 6 months, but people I feel like already just trust Riot. That's kind of a cool feeling.
Yeah, I mean, look, I jumped ship from, well, I wouldn't say jump ship completely, but at this point, I suppose it's kind of forced into it. I got on the ship and it just said fail. Yeah. No, I don't want to. I'm happy where I am. But the thing is, like, Valorant for me, it's so different yet familiar, right? It's like going to a different country, but they do your favorite kind of food. It's really odd, and they're also much more welcoming. It is a great point that you made, though, about the community. I think that's what I was saying with the whole, like, the community, the players, the teams are so good that it stays around. It's amazing that you have this position where the developers basically just let you run away, and the same with Skyrim. And also, you said you were a Skyrim guy. I didn't know you were that much of a Skyrim guy. Jeez, I've never installed mods.
I do Skyrim mod. Like, I used to do mods, and to me, like, one of the big things I want to do is I want to do like world creation / level design. So like, I'm sort of like a map maker by heart. Like I've done like research, like, because like I legitimately I want to make maps for this game, and I never will, but like I go down like the binge of watching all these YouTube videos about CS:GO map creation and stuff, and I find it really interesting. Oh, huge news! We've got a match on our hands there in Agent Select already. We have been informed, so we can go ahead and pop right into that, and we're already on the map. Right off the bat, we're on Haven for this one. Looks like Wave are going to be defending from the start, and it will be, let me just double check that. That is Kakaopulver. How could I forget that name? Over on attack. This will be a good one.
Kakaopulver have opted to choose a flasher, and I say that with quotation marks, I suppose, around it. They've chosen to choose a flasher.
They're not taking all their clothes off. Sorry.
Well, I don't have cameras in the room. You'll have to check yours, Ender. But when I look at and do I mean your cameras in their room or your room for cameras? Well, you don't need to know. Kakaopulver, though, they've taken Reyna. That was the point I was building to. I hate it. I think Reyna's such an individual agent. You lose a lot of just look at Wave. They have the same comp, but a Breach in there. Breach can do a lot more for his teammates, so you're less reliant on an individual performance. I mean, even Scream on Arena is good, but we saw him try so many different agencies on Jet. He's played Breach. Yeah. Just because she's not... You have to have a lights out series for her to be worthwhile.
Yeah, I'd also say that like not having a true flash and only having like blinds in terms of like Omen and Reyna can be somewhat of a weakness on this map. Like it's much harder to cut through that garage area, right, with the near side if people are playing close angles. Like that's not going to be super effective, if they can sort of cut the distance down on you. While we've been quietly specking Muri here, his team has been swiftly cut down. Just him and a friendly Sova up against 4 remaining players of Kakaopulver. Tribune down attacking from under. Murray up from heaven and a good shock dart. He's going to remove 1, so maybe this is doable after all. And just as I say that, a quick shot going to knock down his friend. And a shock dart almost finishes his life too before Mesa knocks him out in the first round. Goes to Kakao.
They've got their round on the board on the attacking side. When you look at this team, the Reyna attack side, I don't even think that that's necessarily true, that she's solid, more solid on the attack side than the defense. It really depends on the Reyna. It depends on how you're setting her up to play. That's the other thing as well, right? You have to play around the Reyna. You have to try to set her up for success without having anybody that's really in the supportive role. And I think the blinds are going to be the most impactful, really, from the Omen, from Thunder. If I remember correctly, I think Thunder might have played some Battalion for a while. I recognize the name, and I don't think it's from his former Valorant teams. Is it? Oh,
Thunder through the smoke is able to get one. The 4-man push up mid from Wave gets them something at the very least. That leaves A-Site completely exposed, and Kakaopulver doing a good job of watching their flanks here. They got their 2 duelists to deal with any sort of late push coming through from Wave, and Wave are quickly going to give up on that attack. So Spike goes down once more without much of a defense put up whatsoever. And Kakaopulver fracks there, easily able to make work of the 2 remaining players on Wave and set themselves up with 2 rounds off the bat.
Trying to find out where I know Thunder from, and it's not easy.
You're the battalion guy. Like, I trust you. You say anything about, I don't know anything about battalion, but you say anything about it, I will believe you 100%.
Hold on. Hey, here we, no, never mind, page doesn't exist. I swear I recognize him from battalion.
Sounds like a battalion page. Sorry, that was a low blow, man. That was a low blow. I'm sorry.
Hey, I missed those days, man. But luckily we've got Valorant to fill the void. Dude, it's bothering me. I'm gonna have to message him afterwards and figure it out. It's either that or it's like one of the... Is he Swiss? He's listed as international. He could be Swiss. Maybe I know him from one of the Swiss Comic Cons. That could be it. He could have played CS or something there.
It's a mystery. We'll have to get to the bottom 2 as soon as we can. Ooh, cleverly, I think he saw just the tip of Jet's head right there. He's up in a really nice spot. Doesn't wait on the trigger there, but he still finds a second and gets eyes on the spike. Maybe this push through mid could work out, but Nico spots out RALOVANT, so Kakaopulver very much on the back foot. They were just rocking Spectres and a lot of SMGs from the previous round. This is a good fire back here from Wave.
The round that they needed to answer back in. I mean, if you're Kakaopulver, the reality is a round like this isn't one that you're typically supposed to win. They've come in with some of the bonus weapons, and I think that the next one is where they'll really put the test to the Wave defense. But the fact that they might get away with this one flawlessly is scary, and indeed they do. That's massive economy built up now for the defending side. It looks like we might have a little bit more of a game on our hands here. I looked it up quickly, by the way, Thunder Liquipedia, and had a look through. So, the best result I could find is a Warcraft player from South Korea. I'm going to go ahead and guess that's not him. But
you never know.
This player has got the most stylish Liquipedia picture I've ever seen in my life. I'm going to link it here and in the Twitch chat. If I can link in the Twitch chat, it might get deleted.
Oh, excellent.
Oh my
He's
god! Wearing a
God.
tuxedo! Look at that! What the
This
hell
guy
is
just
that,
like,
dude?
He's like on his way to a wedding or something, and he's just like beating kids in video games. What a baller!
Sick, dude. Mine is
I
from a
want to be him when
broadcast,
I
and it
grow
doesn't
up.
look nearly that good.
I want to be him when I grow up. That is crazy. Speaking of stylish, are you a fan of the Winter Wonderland skins?
I think they're pretty cool. It's a neat little feature for Christmas.
It's the same sort of, it's the same tech as, yeah, I wouldn't buy it. It's the same tech as the Nebula skins, I think. So, right, maybe doing more of those in the future, but I can't really get fully on board. I like seeing it in people's hands. Someone dropped it, it would be sweet, but I'm not sold enough to buy it myself. Not enough to drop a 10, 15 euros, however much it costs on it. Who knows? All right, Kakaopulver moving in towards the A site. Wave are playing off, playing for retake, except for Cleverly, who's in hell and is able to get Mason. That's a low HP too, so Murray just chuck starts the heck out of RALOVANT, and very quickly it is all turning out very, very poorly. Kakaopulver also invested this round, and it's another flawless, back-to-back flawless on a full buy. Wave are going to be set for life after this.
That's an XYZ flawless round. I'm going to be so frustrated. The fact is as well, you have ultimates swinging over in favor of Wave on the defense. They're up against the weaker buy. This is their opportunity. This is their chance to shine, to really turn this wave into a tsunami. And what's even more surprising when you look at that scoreboard is the fact that it's two players really doing the heavy lifting in those rounds. It was Murray in the one before where he was able to just shut down that A long push. This time it was Cypher, and we'll see what else they can do as the Sheriffs come through, the Revolvers looking to revolve the rounds back over into their favor.
Ooh, I do like how Wave, they just sort of use their Sova to escort Jet down A long, get her in a good position where she can cover both angles. They have the drone there too. That'll cause the rotation to come out when they see nothing going on. Cleverly again with the first blood in the round and a huge paranoia. I think catches all four. Of course, they're in the smoke, so it doesn't matter a whole bunch, but it slows down the push and isolates a few members as they walked out one by one. And now it is just Thunder. This man, I mean, throwing a tuxedo look good when you fall down, but at the end of the day, he is going to be triple flawless. What is going on? They're going to be at 9K, a couple of them.
Back to back to back.
Like, they're not even losing armor on 3 players.
No, they're walking away with so much credits. They've got max on rebounder already, and a couple of others approaching it at the end of this round. There's going to be enough credits for a couple. And that's a problem, really. If you're Kakaopulver, it means you've got to come away with this one. And even to get an operator out, they're having to go on to light armor. Now, that doesn't have that much effect if you're a jet operator especially, because typically you're going to be able to escape any fights. Plus, you don't get any gun kick, right? It's not like if you're from Counter-Strike, right, where if you don't have armor and you get hit, your accuracy just goes out the window. Here, you can still take that first bullet and deliver an accurate shot.
That bullet's in your head, then you're gonna be dead. With 125 Tribune though, getting aggro. I love to see it. Rache with that operator, 0-4-0 for the time being, so maybe he's an op master. We'll see if he can get some confidence back, but I don't think this angle he's going to be ready for it, especially leading the charge in. Does dash away though, and now Rebounder's actually one in the tough spot. Kakaopulver just going to end up sprinting down through sewers. Already have a player on site, and they get the information of where everyone is. Tridos gets the first one. This spike may just hit the floor. It's a 4 versus 3 advantage here for Kakao.
Tough one for Wave, losing out on that long duel. Should have been a free kill for their Jet, and now they've got to fight their way back in with no effective ultimates. It's going to be the paranoia to come in. Almost 2 lined up. He's actually gotten them both. This is huge. Flash into back aside. No. Frags still gets the frags. In comes Nico. He's looking for it all. A 3K under his belt already. One final player. He doesn't know where he is. Rolling Thunder in play. He's managed to at least bait him out. Here goes the Rolling Thunder. He's going to stick the defuse. He'll at least get it halfway, but it's so close. Here comes the spams. They're not connecting, but he's pulled off it. That is it. Surely he doesn't have time, does he? Oh, it's so close, but he gets it. I have no sound, so I couldn't tell. There was 4 seconds left.
Yeah, if you guys don't know, we don't have sound on our end. Deal with some technical issues for the time being, but Nico, he's not at all. Absolutely massive round from him. A very losable round. It looked like Kakaopulver were maybe able to get some momentum back for themselves, but able to find that Rolling Thunder, isolate the player down a long. Beautiful, beautiful stuff coming through to save the round out of almost sure defeat.
That was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Okay, you had the flash go through to blind 2, but then even that backfires. So it never should have happened. It never should have worked, and Kakaopulver have got to be kicking themselves.
It's that near sight, right? Not a true flash, not a true blind necessarily. If you're close enough, you can see him, and they're able to make use of it. Again, going into garage there. No close angle, so they're able to cut through pretty quickly and just dash up onto the site here. Up on top of the box too, but none of the Dags are able to do anything. But with the wall hacks and a light buy, it's enough for Kakaopulver to find a couple. Nico, though, right before the smoke wall goes up, knocks one down. And now it's the retake here. Operator comes on through, but it's Cleverly to find the kill. They know these players are bunched up on site. Cleverly is just on fire here with that Phantom here, and Nico looking good too. It's just the last player remaining in the corner there. Raj only had a classic to work with. That'll be a 5th round strung together by Wave.
5 rounds as Kakaopulver have given them max money. At this point, it must be on pretty much every player. Take a look in a second as they pull out these weapons, but it's going to be so difficult because at this point, right, it's not about winning 1, it's not about winning 2. You'll probably need 3 back-to-back rounds before you push Wave to an eco. On the attacking side, actually, especially on Haven, you would expect to walk away with a larger number of rounds than your opponents. The reality is, though, obviously you're playing against Wave. This is a very strong team that you definitely cannot underestimate. And considering the rounds they've already got under their belts of still involved individuals, that makes it even more scary. The fact that you're having players turn up, that is an awkward spray down from Thrax.
That is rough there. Instantly shuts down any sort of pressure over towards A. And the first kill, Jet Diff. Both Jets came into the round with 0 kills apiece. And Rebounder is the one to strike first. So that's the difference maker in this game, or at least this round. We'll go ahead and say Rebounder is going to be able to find his second of the game. And the round comes to a screeching halt from Kakaopulver. Murray caught, doing some drone exercises right there. And Titus will be able to find one, but cleverly runs into Mason. And out is just up to the Reyna.
The problem with having already lost so many players, you don't have the map control, you don't know what's free, and running around with your knife out, well, you can see why he wanted to get to B fast. We ran right into an opponent. This now leaves, as you said, the 1v4. Tritos with it all to do, and he's just hoping that somebody pushes him down, but they've got the spike. There is no need for them to peek, but Tritos, oh, he's missed the shots. Again, you can see him repositioning and moving to every angle, hoping that eventually someone would swing through, but when they did, it was with an operator in hand and a shot connected to put 6 on the board for Wave in an almost flawless round, which seems to be a recurring theme so far.
This goes here.
Yeah, it's been a struggle. I mean, just the start of pretty much every round has been pretty rough for Kakao, getting picked off early, no sort of shutdown in their pushes. They do have a Hunter's Fury to work with here, so if they can get a tag off of the drone or, a good dart, maybe they can play off of that, get an entry kill, and sort of ease their way onto a site, but they continue to go A. It has been that double stack, and now a third player actually moving up as the breach plays up towards heaven here. Wave are ready and waiting. And Rebounder again with that first blood makes this a 5v4, and Kakaopulver are gonna have to think twice before pushing forward.
You can see that they're not exactly wanting to move. It's Trito on long, who started to go into that angle, but then realized, don't want to get offed on this. They double peek it to try and get the trade. Damage done, but Rebounder's still alive. Ult pop cleverly is taken down 3. And it's all onto Thunder. He's got so much to do. The low HP Jet dealt with, but how does he get the other 3? Hasn't got the spike.
He doesn't have the spike.
He's useless without it. There you go. I thought he was going to TP to C and then realized his mistake. 1v1's on offer. This is winnable. This is so winnable. The stun. Oh, flash about to go out. That ends the round. I thought it was actually a fault line, but a flash is exactly what the doctor ordered.
Yeah, there was a bit of a window there where it looked like maybe, Nico not actually peeking window, taking those fights one by one. Maybe there was a way for Kakaopulver to come away with the clutch on that, but the end of the day, it was not meant to be. And we went from 2 quick wins from Kakaopulver, and now it's starting to echo a lot of what we saw in that first match earlier today. So Kakaopulver are going to find some way to bounce back in this one, but it won't be this round. It doesn't seem. Just a sheriff in the hand of Tritos and a bunch of sheriffs to go around, and that's not going to be too good against an operator, although timing will say that Rebounder doesn't get the kill, and there's a bit of damage to come through that wall.
Only a tickle, but cleverly, he almost managed to catch out that Jet. Oh my god! A double spray down collateral wall bang headshots. What is that? Oh my!
Cleverly's been having a game.
Started out well. Jesus.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say. Cleverly, whether it's defending the side, pushing forward aggro like that, he has been on fire today. And pretty much just destroying any hope that Kakaopulver have at all. Again, the winner of this will surely move on to the main event later this weekend, where they have a chance to win 1,500 euros and a whole heap of Logitech G gear. Of course, you can tune in for that on Friday at 6 p.m. or Saturday for the semifinals and final starting at 4 p.m. So that'll be a whole lot of fun. Make sure you don't miss it, because Wave don't look like they want to miss this one either. They are coming up, and they mean business.
Yeah, Waver's certainly looking like they'll be the team to make it there with 8 on the board, but there's still time. Again, if they can make it to 4, what's Murray doing here? What's he up to? That's a high shock dart if ever I've seen one. Doesn't look like it's going to find its mark. Okay.
Okay,
Guess it wasn't the
clearly he
lineup.
is against clean, renewable energy. That is unbelievable. He just short-circuited the solar panel.
I actually didn't get what you were going for there. I was like, wait, what? Oh, but yeah, someone needs to send that to Average Jonas. I want to see his reaction. But cleverly, he's been shut down. Overheal as well on Tritos. They've picked up the spike. This is a really good start now for Kakaopulver. Back into the 2v4, turned 2v3. There's the spot. They're going to have all the info to play with these players not on the site. Tritos knows there's probably going to be a peek in from heaven. The spams are there. The plant is coming through. Frax wants to continue the push forward, but there's two. He hears them. He hears one at least moving in towards heaven. The spot is there, and Rebounder was more than ready for that peek. Now looking for the final player. Tritos needs a kill to get back to full health. Finds the tag, but not the kill. There it is, out there with the invisibility. Oh, almost gets it. It was so close. But Rebounder survives on 30 HP. If he hit one more bullet, that would have been the end of the round, because look at how low Sova was.
Yeah, it was looking very doable for just a moment right there, but at the end of it, it comes away a 4K for a Bouncer. Feeling better after a slow start, already up to 9 kills on the board, and that was after a rare mistake from Cleverly. Wasn't able to come away with that first kill. Kakaopulver really needed to string that together. Now they're facing down the barrels of 2 operators. Bouncer does hold on to that.
That goes there.
I guess we're just missing one way. Oh, that's kind of a cool little one way. I like that one a lot. Inside the bell, the horn, whatever you'd call that. Not too sure, but Tribune's here with the op, ready to fire away. Sees the head. Oh, can he find a good angle for it? He does. Tears Jet's face straight off of her. Now the tag through the smoke is going to... Oh, doesn't actually stop it. Tritos is able to get through the smoke before Tribune switches over to the Vandal. Trades that kill out. The spike should go down, and Kakaopulver going to do everything in their power to walk away at the half with 3.
They need it. It's essential. Otherwise, the pistol round could be what loses them the game ultimately. TP going to be going into B. That's not gotten them any information, so it's all about the flank play. They'll be ready for it. They suspect this angle. No, they don't. Easy kill for Thunder on the first. They obviously suspected that he'd gone somewhere else or that he'd cancelled it. Now they've got the back to deal with. Wave trying to move forward onto the site. They know it's a 1v1. There's Rolling Thunder up and ready to go, but there's the Hunter's Fury. It's baited out early. He's firing the second as well. So early on, but he gets a kill. Even though he's caught, there's no time anymore. Surely, Rebounder shouldn't be able to win this. And indeed, it is done and done.
No, sir. Yep. Never were able to get it to halfway, so Rebounder will be slain. Kakaopulver can manage to find a third round right there. Wave in an excellent position, though, as they do switch over to attack. We'll see what Kakaopulver are able to do here, if any of their guys are able to show up, because they're gonna have to come away with the pistol. They're gonna have to be able to get the ball rolling, and they were able to win pistol on attack. Maybe that's their home turf. Maybe that's where they feel good. They need to string together some rounds early on here to stand much of a chance.
This is it. Stringing together rounds for the whole half, really. Like, you cannot allow Wave to get off to anywhere near the kind of start they did previously. Remember, they had 9K on every player for a lot of rounds in a row.
Yeah, the only eco for Wave was round 2. That was the only time they weren't able to actually buy weapons. After that, it was pretty smooth sailing for them. Ooh, Tritos there. Not able to stick that heal, so we'll be at 50 HP, and the attack will come through very quickly. Already onto the site, Rebounder gets his first. Frax will also fall, as Rajay does get a couple here. It's a 2v2, the blind comes out though. Thunder removes Nico, and hey, it's looking a bit better for Kakaopulver. Do they expect this push from Tribune though? I don't think so. That's a headshot. Now the second. Here's the fire. He swings the corner for a second, but backs up. He has a lot of time to play with here. We'll go back, retreat, pick up the spike, and now put it down.
That spot isn't even going to see him. Oh, it does actually, just about. It seems like a shot in the dark there when it comes down to some of these recons, and Mason is forced all the way back into spawn. That smoke didn't hit. Tribune was a little bit quick to throw it down, but catches the headshot and puts it 10-3. Well handled by Tribune and by Wave in general, pulling that one back, and now 3 to go. And with the pistol round lost, Kakaopulver should be taking an eco.
You say that, but do you have the faith if you can't? If Wave go up to 11, can you stop them from hitting 12 and 13? That could be tough. We'll see what they do end up going for. If it could be stingers or perhaps a sheriff, or if it will be that full save. Doesn't look like they're spending anything right now, and it's hard to tell what exactly money-wise they're on. But this is very grim, I do believe, as there will be specters and whatnot coming through, holding the crossfire here, but a camera will spot them. Cleverly takes out the first. Frax, though, was able to sneak in behind and is good for a kill before he is removed from play as well.
I wonder if Mason has realized that his shock dart lineups are off. Probably not, so it could just be a consistent feature. Oh, knife the drone. I wonder if that works. I'm sure it does.
You can certainly knife the drone. Maybe you have to jump for it if it's a little high up there, but don't know if it's the most effective strategy.
I'm the
maybe
perfect
for
height.
preserving bullets. You're the perfect no. 6'5" is the perfect height.
Roughly, yeah. It changes every time,
okay,
but approximately.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's a condition.
Yeah, you know what? If you stand, do you know who Tyler 1 is?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Because if you stand next to him, you can both be 6'5".
Now listen. I'm taller than Tyler 1. All right, I will not take this slander. I'm taller. I've looked it up. Might only be by an inch.
I take it back. I didn't mean it. Oh, Trados getting aggro up through mid. Throw the Lee around just so he can retreat there. But again, Kakaopulver, they've got the rifles to play with. They're going to need to hold on to these for the rest of the match. Working up C. Mason is tagged once, but is good on the kill there. Okay, Kakaopulver looking real nice on this 15th round or bounter. And a friend just working up through grass with the spike here, but they got a lot of players to cut through.
I mean, surely you don't win this 2v5, right? No ultimates online, even if they were. The Blade Storm's the only real impactful one in the situation. Pushing in the doors by himself. That was a well-handled round by Kakaopulver, one that they definitely needed, and they're going to need a bunch more just like it. But getting away with it flawlessly and showing that they still have confidence is important. They go down middle. Obviously, you've got the cover there with the operator in play. He swings out, makes sure nobody's pushing up from the boxes you're seeing on your screen now. Then Tritos is the one that's looking for player in window, catches a frag, falls back. He's confident enough to pull the Lear out purely because he has the cover of the operator there. They're able to come back and then play off the man advantage, which forced Wave into trying to seize map control elsewhere, and they just ran straight into a strong defense. This round, though, look at Wave's response. Now they start heavily committing towards those early mid fights. They get away with one and light up a player to 1 HP. Now it is Arena, so if he finds a kill here, that could be a heal up.
Yeah.
But for now, he's going to be 1 hit away.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to find that. I was just about to say, you know what Kakaopulver really need? 3 flawless rounds in a row. Well, already that is not going to be a possibility here. Now Wave are scouting out towards C. Now Murray's the only one playing along. He's already drawing out early rotation and caught inside of the drone. Will get a big tag down on to his clone on the opposing side. So Kakaopulver a little bit worse for wear here, as they have been whittled down a bit by the early trades and the utility. And now it does look like Wave 1 commit for this C play. Oh, that's bold, though. Just to try and scout out the site, not actually trying to commit off of that one. Will get sent back very quickly, but now the concuss comes through, the blind comes through. Tritos is going to have to play off this blind beautifully to get that kill, get that heal, like we had previously mentioned. But Wave slowed things down.
30 seconds left.
After the rotations came out, spent a lot of utility, and now they're going to swing it all the way back over towards that A site, where there's really just a Cypher and his traps to slow them down.
It's all about Murray in this play because he managed to get himself into the garage. They feel confident in hitting the A site, but they're low on time. The spike has to go down. Spray doesn't quite catch him. The bouncer shut down. So too is Tribune, and this is looking winnable now. But it's all about the flank, as we said. Murray's coming up behind. Nico almost closes it by himself. They have no idea on Murray, and that flank is what closes the round. Gets a 12th on into the hands of Wave. And with 1 to go.
It's exactly as you said. It's exactly as you said. It was the flank for Murray. It almost didn't work out, right? You know, the rest of Wave were getting or Kakaopulver rather, were getting taken down on the site. And just showed up in that 1v1 situation at the end. Murray, no one expected him to lurk through mid, right? That certainly Mason did not. So Wave on match point. Yet light armor in their pockets on 3 of those players, including the operator. Spoke about that on the Jet earlier, but it's not actually Jet opping. Or no, I'm looking at the wrong side. I'm looking at defense, Jet, nope. The attacker still has the op in their hand. So Wave slowly spreading out, trying to get any information they can, but cleverly knocked down early. The top frag for Wave off the board. It's a little bit of confidence over to Kakao.
They'll need more than just confidence, especially if they swing into Murray, who is on fire right now. Picking up Thunder, opening C almost completely. The Sova in position, droning it down, seeing that there's no further aggression. And Kakaopulver make the response to push down mid. This gets a very early flank onto the A site for them. They've only got 1 player. This could be it, the counter, the exact opposite of the previous round. Rolling Thunder doesn't hit anybody. Kakao are quick. Can be quick to get back into this site, but they're going to bide their time. They're going to allow Tritos to come up behind and find it, but Nico, he seems to be a little bit curious about it, doesn't know that it's long that's actually being pushed down, and Tritos gets himself the double, fades out, and a 2v4 left for Wave to come back from. There we go. Okay. What's going on? They each find kills.
It's just
Player standing.
Yeah, at the end, though, Tritos and Mason do show up, so it's just like instant double kills a couple different times in that round. Tritos, though, on the flank, huge in that round, and it looked like it almost wasn't going to work, right? Wave sprinted onto that site. They were not taking it slowly. Didn't look like they wanted to leave themselves open to any sort of punish on the back half, but Tritos was able to come down long, see 2 players stacked on top of each other, and that will slow things down. Wave do not have the economy built up like they did on defense. You're just going to have to string together a couple of SMGs here to bring the fight to Kakao.
Yeah, these weapons aren't going to be ideal, but on the attacking side, you can make use of them. You can go for a more pointed early round, and you can see straight away they're stacked up outside of the A site. That's where they want to take the fight. I guess you're going to see a smoke on the cross.
Get out of my way.
A cage instead. Okay, same thing effectively. So they can get up close to Thunder. Now checking their corners. Oh, Thunder! He's whiffed that one. Only gets the 1. The ult on Rebounder took down Tritos, and the A site goes to Wave.
Wave still able to make it work and get that spike down. Rebounder has a couple of updrafts to play with for the time being, and no flank comes through from Kakaopulver this time around. All headed through a link, and I mean, 3 players from Wave playing off-site. They can just play this post-plant. They have the Hunter's Fury at their disposal. Play that time game. Rebounder in a good spot for the right clicks. The Hunter's Fury comes out from Kakaopulver. Gets a tag, but not good enough for a kill. Rebounder destroys his clone with the daggers. Time is ticking away here. It's looking grim for Kakaopulver. It's looking even worse as Rebounder finds a 3rd. It's just racks up here, but he doesn't have time to remove 3. Rebounder gets the 4K on the final round, and that'll be Wave taking the map.
13-5. Well, it's another blowout here in Wave. They just showed us why they're a well-respected top 10 to 15 team within Europe. They've got the protocols there. They've got the good reactive plays as well, like those mid-round calls, having Murray lurk inside of window and rotating the A site for him to come in on the big flank. That really impressed me. And this is a team that's been getting better and better over time, so I'd expect them to qualify. Just a shame that it was so one-sided.
Yep. I mean, such a strong performance coming through from Wave. I liked it a lot. Cleverly, too, had a lot of those sweet moments over there as well. Looking very, very crisp on that side. You can see he topped the boards. And honestly, Rebounder was really struggling for a long time. In the first 5 rounds, I think he was killless, but at the end of the day, was able to climb back once he got an operator in his hands and did some serious work right there. An econ rating of 126 somehow. The man is invested in those stonks, ready to go. And hey, you know, if you want to be a fan of a good team, maybe invest in some wave stonks. Help them out here. They're looking strong heading into the level regional clash. Remember, you know, if you guys just stopped by for a second here and you don't know what this match was for, of course, these are qualifying rounds for the level regional clash. Going on this weekend, there are going to be games. I just realized tomorrow is Friday. So tomorrow starting at 6 p.m. and the semifinals and finals will be at 4 p.m. the following day, this Saturday. So make sure you come to that. That, of course, is going to be a great time. This has also been a great time, Mitch. Always love chatting with you, even when we go on long. It's just because we're having a good time. And, of course, had some fun games to cover there as well. Of course, don't forget to follow the channel, everyone. Follow Level Global on socials. You can follow us, too. That's always cool. We appreciate it. We sometimes talk to you guys. But until then, we'll see you all next week for some more relevant discussions.